Good day. I just got my first video censored on YouTube and got my first community guideline strike. This hits home now, this censorship thing. This isn't the first time I've been censored, and I'll get into the other time that they censored my whole website off the internet. Are we to worry about this bill that's coming out called C11, where the Canadian government will be in control of what we see? I'll be getting into that in this video. Community Guideline Strike. Warning: your content was removed due to a violation to our community guidelines. Because it's the first time your account isn't affected, you're only warning once, and this warning will remain on your channel. This happens again, your channel will get a community guideline strike. You won't be able to do things like upload, post, or live stream for 1 week. Oh, YouTube jail. Well, I'm going to put this video back up, but I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to take a whole chunk out in the middle where I suggest I probably made medical misinformation. And when you go over to... So I would click the medical misinformation here. However, it is the C word, so I don't even want to click it because it'll actually show that C word on the screen. And who knows what's going to get me another strike. So I have been kicked off the internet before. I'll give you a quick breakdown of the story. During a lot of the craziness I went through in 2019 and 2020 when I had a billionaire trying to invest in my company, a bunch of evil millionaires trying to invest in me and then being gang stalked, I also was raided by the police. And they stole a whole bunch of plant medicine from me, and there was no charges, and they did a bunch of really shady stuff. There is videos on that. I'll probably tell the story again sometimes. But after that raid, I didn't get any charges after they went through, and so I decided I was going to open up a CBD dispensary on Baker Street in Nelson. And somebody called in a complaint, likely one of the other stores in town, and the police came in, and they looked at what I was doing and at all the products, and they said, well, I'm not going to do anything with this, because they saw I was selling non-psychoactive CBD. And so they left, but then the following week, I get this email, and it says, hello, Tucow has been informed that the domain listed in the subject line of this email may be selling blank without a license. Please provide me with information showing your eligibility to sell cannabis or jurisdiction license on your website no later than June 13th. So please note, if you cannot produce a license, the domain name will be suspended. Thank you. And I said, hello, melatonicssociety.com is not an e-commerce website. There's no online store. It is an education website. Have a lovely day, Patrick David Bond and Melatonic. The next message came back was, the complaint was brought to us by the government. Your website states that people can email, text you to place orders for cannabis products, which seemingly cannot produce a license for. Once again, if you cannot produce a license to sell cannabis products on this website, we will suspend the domain name. So this is a CBDs, and there was a for information about products, you could text or email. So I guess that was enough for them. So obviously I couldn't produce a license. I'm producing true medical plant medicine that nobody else is doing, and they've actually just deleted and taken off the internet and pathologized since legalization and destroyed all the medical system that we had and put in a recreational system that does not satisfy any patients or clients. So they are deleting videos of mine that talk about a few things that I think are very important for us to know. And they delete a CBD website. The government deletes my CBD website and it's an educational website, not even a product to be sold, no e-commerce through it. And if you look at the date here, in May, right? Well, guess what happens in May in Canada?
It's being called a monumental step towards treating drug use. BC is about to become the first province in Canada to decriminalize simple possession of small amounts of illicit substances. CTV's Shannon Patterson has the details.
From coast to coast in Canada, it's against the law to possess even small amounts of illicit drugs for personal use. But in BC, that's about to change.
As of January 31st, 2023, adults 18 and over in British Columbia will no longer be subject to criminal charges for the possession of up to 2.5 grams of certain illegal drugs for personal use, and the drugs will not be confiscated.
Decriminalizing the simple possession of drugs is an historic, brave, and groundbreaking first step in the fight to save lives. It marks a fundamental rethinking of drug policy that favors health care over handcuffs.
In reality, police rarely enforce the possession law.
So in the same month that they're legalizing satanic drugs like meth and heroin and fentanyl, they're deleting a plant medicine practitioner off the internet and a non-toxic, non-addictive plant medicine practitioner. I'm going to put a video down below that tells and shows what's really going on in Vancouver, and you can tell me if these policies, these free for all drug policies are actually good. You can actually have 2.5 grams of any drug, and if that was pure fentanyl, and I know that they're not getting pure fentanyl, but that's 20,000 doses that they've decriminalized. So I've keep putting up my videos here on Rumble. So Patrick David Bonnet on Rumble. I got 1 subscriber and I get very little views over there, and that's why a lot of people are trying to promote a new place. Google is actually warning us about C11. So this is Front Page News, which is a really good source to look for news and what's going on in the world. And let's just look at this here. The courage to speak the truth is a virtue. Well, these guys just edited me off the internet for speaking some kind of truth. And to be honest, go look at the video and you can tell me if there's anything I say that's that bad. Well, anyways, here we go. Yet another tech giant has joined in the fight against Trudeau's Bill C11. Google Canada has come out to warn Canadians of what could be if that bill is passed into law. On Wednesday morning, Google Canada released a Twitter thread titled, "Keep YouTube Yours," which basically warns Canadians of the potential changes that could come to their YouTube feed if the bill is passed by legislature. Of course, Bill C11 needs no introduction at this stage. It's a bill processed by the Liberals to regulate online content on social media and give the CRTC some unclearly defined power over the internet in Canada and other aspects of electronic media. The fear over this proposal, which is justified, is that the government wants to use the bill, if it becomes law, to censor content that they believe would hurt its policy's image in the country. It is also thought that the government would only promote content that probably sings praises of them or something, just like what the CBC and other parts of the mainstream media are doing. CBC is given over $1 billion every year by the Liberal government. So that's something we should know about. So we do have an issue with censorship. When they can, legalize cannabis in Canada and then 2 to 3 years later raid somebody that was a part of trying to help the legalization, that was out in the open being loving with this plant. They can delete me off the internet after legalization, and they can just delete videos that I put up. Well, they can just get rid of any of us off of the internet they want. So we have to start to find other ways to communicate, and that's why I'm saying, hey, like, get over to Rumble, and I hope Rumble stays free also. And there's a anti-human agenda to what's being centered and what's being pushed, and I think that we should take note of these things. And if you want to check out the full video that got censored, it's on Rumble, so go check it out there. If you've enjoyed this video, then hit the subscription and the like button and share it if you can. And again, get over to Rumble. I'm going to be putting up all my videos up there. Some of my really early stuff isn't in there, but I'm continuing to keep it updated as I'm putting them in now. So much love and God bless.